Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here with Bernard Hopkins. We are in New York, just a few days away, where Gennady Golovkin will face David Lemieux. His fighter, of course, Golden Boy, promoting this event. Bernard, I want to get in your mind on this. Say it was Bernard Hopkins, Gennady Golovkin. How would you dissect that style and really exploit the weaknesses that you see in Gennady?
First of all, I would make him feel uncomfortable. And how you make a guy like that feel uncomfortable, who's been comfortable mostly his whole career, just by his record, just by his achievements, just by his confidence, got to be to the roof right now. And he's hearing everybody's making him the favorite, and they're not even looking for it to be a fight itself. And that could be, well, the point. But they're always that trump card, and I mentioned it earlier at the podium. You have to make a guy like that who's invisible to most people, visible. And that's not always an easy task to conquer, but what is easy in a sport of the sweet science? Lemieux have to be himself, but better than himself. And Triple G must be in a situation that he never been in before, and that is, why is this guy still here and I'm not getting or having my way? Now, this is a process that's going to take some punches, that's going to be absorbed by Lemieux. That's the million or billion dollar question. Can Lemieux take what he gives out? Because he's not a light puncher himself. On that note, we rarely have matches where two guys are bombs away and have respectful power to make the other guy respect their power. I say, let's not be a herd of sheep and run where everybody else is running. Keep an open mind on the history in Madison Square Garden. Keep in mind that he's fighting a live guy that realizes and understands that he's supposed to be here. This is not a charity gift case. On those things that you might say that Bernard sounds good speech, but guess what? These are the ingredients. Depend on the fighter, and this one has that ingredients. That all the things I just mentioned need to be in a guy's mind and controlled and delivered. We get caught up, or they get caught up, and they don't go as far as five or six different topics, why and should and how. But we got to find things that has something to do with boxing, but not in the first 10 do or don't list things. Lemieux going to upset the world of boxing. And there's going to be some excuse. Some that might be legitimate because they're not here yet, and some might not be. I want to be a part of that because I've been a part of it as a fighter, and I want to be part of it as a promoter. I have an agenda too, but I also know that Triple G is danger. He's a guy that you cannot underestimate and overlook and get too cocky even though you might have your way early. You must keep your eye on the guy with the gun at all times. That's why you like talking to me. You don't get to say anything. I get to interview and answer the question. It's a great guy. Smile at the camera.
Bernard, if we went and found the mythical hot tub time machine,
yes,
and
hot tub time machine.
we sat in it, and we brought back Bernard Hopkins from when you were at middleweight, would your prior self beat?
Disarm him.
You would completely beat.
Disarm him.
Yeah.
I would disarm him. I would disarm him, and then I will make him fight the fight that I want to fight. I would immediately, guys like that, they are so dangerous. The first job at a task at hand is to disarm your enemy, your opponent. You have to disarm him. There's no negotiating. There's no figuring out when a guy has something in his hand that's trying to hurt you. You must disarm him, and now let's fight. It starts mental. Everything starts from the head down, not from the feet up. So from the head down, this is science I'm speaking, I will disarm you mentally. And once I disarm you mentally, you won't even use those hands you got.
It's an interesting. I think that's what always puts you that extra advantage over your opponents is that approach, and that's really from what I've seen. It's you can't teach that. I guess people coming up, it clicks, and they realize that extra dimension. Like, hey, I also have this weapon as well. Speaking of what's next for you, Abraham had an opponent. You still thinking that you'd get the winner? Yeah, he has Murray, I think, but.
Look, he might not beat Murray.
Yeah, it's a live fight. Yeah.
Hey, man, and look, hey, listen. If Abraham don't win, then maybe he pit me out of my misery. But I got 3 other options. I can't mention their names because I don't want.
Why not? Mention one name.
I don't. Well, it's Abraham who I want because
we already knew that one.
No, Abraham. I know. Yeah, that was a good political move. You must.
Bernard for office.
I must have watched the debate yesterday because I watched it. So I'm trying to, except for Donald Trump, I'm trying to use a little bit of other people's stuff. Sound kind of good. But my thing is this, man. I'm willing to go in there, and ready to go in there. I want to do it early in the year, of next year rather, than late, and announce win, lose, or draw, or controversy, the last big event of my life and my career, and event. That's what I want it to be. That's what I'm hoping it to be. I would know this week if I got HBO, which I believe, blessings to back it 100%. Right now, we 50% there, and now we got to get the other half, and that is Abraham winning. That makes the big difference, and then let's sit down and get these documents signed. And I want to be able to announce it before the year is over.
All right. I still want a catchweight, you and Gennady.
Yes.
You and Gennady catchweight.
I would love it.
That, to me, go out and that would be great.
I would love it. But he got something bigger to deal with right now.
Saturday night, that's what he's talking about. HBO pay-per-view. Gennady Golovkin takes on David Lemieux here in New York at Madison Square Garden.
Fight Hub, my guy.